right, everyone, welcome back to another day of summer school. It is time to clean up. So if you did crafting today, please make sure you put those away and any supplies you used. Any mess you left, please make sure you clean that up. If you chose to read a book today, make sure you put that away before you come join us. Find a spot to sit and we begin our story. Hello folks, today I'm going to share with you some stories from a very odd book. I'm not going to read the whole thing. You're welcome to finish it on your own, but I'd like to introduce you to The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales. I have found a kernel of wheat, said the little red hen. Now who will help me plant this wheat? Where is that lazy dog? Where is that lazy cat? Where is that lazy mouse? Wait a minute. Hold everything. You can't tell your story right here. This is the end paper. This book hasn't even started yet. Who are you? Will you help me plant the wheat? I'm Jack. I'm the narrator. And no, I can't help you plant the wheat. I'm a very busy guy, trying to put a book together. Now why don't you just disappear for a few pages? I'll call when I need you. But who will help me plant and tell my story? Who will help me draw a picture of the wheat? Who will help me spell the wheat? Listen, hen, forget the wheat. Here comes the title page. Title page for The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales. I know, the page is upside down. I meant to do that. Whoever looks at that dedication stuff anyhow? If you really want to read it, you can always stand on your head. This book is dedicated to our close personal special friend. Your name here. A long time ago, people used to tell magical stories of wonder and enchantment. Those stories were called fairy tales. Those stories are not in this book. The stories in this book are almost fairy tales, but not quite. I mean, the stories in this book are fairly stupid tales. I mean, what else would you call a story like Goldilocks and the Three Elephants? This girl was walking through the woods, smells peanut porridge cooking. She decides to break into the elephant's house, eat the porridge, sit in the chairs, and sleep in the beds. But when she gets in the house, she can't climb up on baby elephant's chair because it's too big. She can't climb up on mama elephant's chair because it's much too big. And she can't climb up on papa elephant's chair because it's much too big. So she goes home, the end. And if you don't think that's fairly stupid, you should read Little Red Running Shorts or maybe The Stinky Cheese Man. In fact, you should definitely go read the stories now because the rest of this introduction just kind of goes on and doesn't really say anything. I stuck it on to the end here so it would fill up the page and make it look like I really knew what I was talking about. So stop now. I mean it. Quit reading. Turn the page. If you read this last sentence, it won't tell you anything. Jack, up the hill, fairy tale forest. Surgeon General's warning. It has been determined that these tales are fairly stupid and probably dangerous to your health. Chicken Licken. Once upon a time, Chicken Licken was standing around when a piece of something fell on her head. She wasn't the brightest thing on two legs, so she started running around in circles, clucking, "The sky is falling! The sky is falling! We must tell the president!" Chicken Licken ran to her friend Ducky Lucky and clucked, "Ducky Lucky! Ducky Lucky! The sky is falling! The sky is falling! We must tell the president!" "Let's go!" quacked Ducky Lucky. Chicken Licken and Ducky Lucky ran to their friend Goosey Lucy and yelled, "Goosey Lucy! Goosey Lucy! The sky is falling! The sky is falling! We must tell the president!" Let's go, honked Goosey Lucy. Chicken Licken, Ducky Lucky, and Goosey Lucy ran to their friend Cocky Locky and yelled, Cocky Locky, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. We must tell the president. Let's go, crowed Cocky Locky. Wait a minute, cried Jack the narrator. I forgot the table of contents. Hey, you're not in this story, said Chicken Licken. I know, said Jack the narrator, but I came to warn you. The table of contents is, the sky is falling, clucked Chicken Licken. We must tell the president. So Chicken Licken, Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, and Cocky Locky ignored Jack the narrator and ran off to catch a plane to Washington. Just outside the airport, they met Foxy Loxy. Foxy Loxy, the sky is falling. We must tell the president, yelled Chicken Licken, Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, and Cocky Locky. Well, come with me, said Foxy Loxy. I know a shortcut to the airport. Foxy Loxy led Chicken Licken, Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, and Cocky Locky to his cave. He didn't get to eat them, though, because Chicken Licken was almost right. The sky wasn't falling. The table of contents was. It fell and squashed everybody. The end. We are going to continue on reading The Princess and the Bowling Ball, The Really Ugly Duckling, and The Other Frog Prince. The rest of these you can read on your own. The Princess and the Bowling Ball. Once upon a time, there was a prince, and this prince's dad and mom, the king and queen, somehow got it into their royal heads that no princess would be good enough for their boy unless she could feel a pea through 100 mattresses. So it would come as no surprise that the prince had a very hard time finding a princess. Every time he met a nice girl, his mom and dad would pile 100 mattresses on top of a pea and then invite her to sleep over. When the princess came down for breakfast, the queen would ask, "How did you sleep, dear?" And the princess would politely say, "Fine, thank you." And the king would show her the door. Now this went on for 3 years. And of course, nobody ever felt the pea under 100 mattresses. Then one day, the prince met the girl of his dreams. He decided he better do something about it. That night, before the princess went to bed, the prince slipped his bowling ball under the 100 mattresses. When the princess came down for breakfast the next morning, the queen asked, "How did you sleep, dear?" "This might sound odd," said the princess, "but I think you need another mattress. It felt like I was sleeping on a lump as big as a bowling ball." The king and queen were satisfied. The prince and princess were married, and everyone lived happily, though maybe not completely honestly, ever after. The end. The Really Ugly Duckling. Once upon a time, there was a mother duck and a father duck who had 7 baby ducklings. 6 of them were regular-looking ducklings. The 7th was a really ugly duckling. Everyone used to say, "What a nice-looking bunch of ducklings," all except that one. Boy, he's really ugly. The really ugly duckling heard these people, but he didn't care. He knew that one day he would probably grow up to be a swan and be bigger and look better than anything in the pond. Well, as it turned out, he was just a really ugly duckling, and he grew up to be just a really ugly duck. The end. All right. The Other Frog Prince. Once upon a time, there was a frog. One day, when he was sitting on his lily pad, he saw a beautiful princess sitting by the pond. He hopped in the water, swam over to her, and poked his head out of the weeds. "Pardon me, oh beautiful princess," he said in his most sad and pathetic voice. "I wonder if you could help me." The princess was about to jump up and run, but she felt sorry for the frog with the sad and pathetic voice. So she asked, "What can I do to help you, little frog?" "Well," said the frog, "I'm not really a frog, but a handsome prince who was turned into a frog by a wicked witch's spell, and the spell can only be broken by the kiss of a beautiful princess." The princess thought about this for a second, then lifted the frog from the pond and kissed him. "I was just kidding," said the frog. He jumped back into the pond, and the princess wiped the frog slime off her lips. The end. All right, folks, like I said, if you'd like to read the rest of these fairly stupid stories, you are more than welcome to. The end.